Barbershops have officially reopened, and with that comes the question, should you cut your hair? So I thought we'd discuss the pros and cons of having longer hair, and hopefully by the end of the video you have a better understanding as to whether growing out your hair is something you would like to try. As always, if you enjoy or find this video helpful, a thumbs up is greatly appreciated. It also lets me know you guys like seeing these types of videos. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and for the odd bit of hair inspo, be sure to check out my Instagram, which is at Lucasantangelo. If you haven't had your hair cut throughout this quarantine period, a pro is that you've already made good progress towards having longer hair. Assuming you're growing your hair out from a disconnected undercut, the first few months are always the most awkward. This is simply because the sides are too short to slick back, and so what you're left with are sides that just stick out and they kind of look in the way. They make the hairstyle look a little less presentable, and if you've grown your hair out for the past 3 months or so, you should be past that stage. But overall, as a point, that is something to definitely consider. You're never going to get a better opportunity to get past that initial awkward stage than you are right now. That brings us nicely into the second point, which is longer hair is becoming increasingly popular. Considering longer hair is becoming more popular and the fact that you've already had several months of hair growth, you literally would not find a better opportunity than to try it out now. However, with that being said, it being the perfect time to grow out your hair won't be a good enough point on its own. You also have to want to grow out your hair and give it a go. I've mentioned it before and I'm sure I'll mention it again, but for me, it was just a case of wanting to grow out my hair at least once in my lifetime. And yeah, I guess it was just really good timing. Having longer hair really changes things up. It encourages you to learn new hairstyles, look into new products, ways of maintaining healthy hair, and so on and so forth. This was a big point for me because after several years of having a disconnected undercut and going through hairstyles that looked roughly same or similar, it's very surface level, but if you've only had short hair, longer hair almost creates a different identity. And so if you are looking to change something up about the way you look, growing out your hair is something to definitely consider. The first con and the most apparent is the fact that it takes a while to grow out your hair. For a full-on man bun, you're looking at least 12 to 16 months of hair growth, depending on where you're starting out. That in itself can be a really demotivating factor, so my advice is to try out a bunch of different hairstyles during the growth stage, and hopefully by doing that, you stop counting the days as much. Secondly, it's not the most practical. For example, if you're not used to spending a lot of time on your hair in the mornings, maybe before work or school, college, whatever it is, longer hair will definitely put a dent in that routine. It takes far longer to wash, maintain, blow dry, style. And so if you are a very much get up and go type of person, it might not be the best option for you. The last drawback I'll mention in this video is the idea of no going back. After a year or two of consciously growing your hair, it's easy to feel committed to it, and so going back to shorter hair isn't always an overnight decision. Being at this stage of hair growth, part of me always considers what I would think or feel having shorter hair again. However, there's obviously a huge barrier in the way, being that if I want to try out shorter hair again, I'm gonna have to cut back on almost 2 years worth of hair growth progress. When you have shorter to medium length hair, it's far less of a commitment going in between the two. And so in a way you can actually vary your hairstyle a lot, whereas when you have longer hair, you feel like the only option is to grow it out even longer. But that brings this video to a close. I thought I'd keep it short and sweet by only including the points that I feel are most relevant now that barbershops have reopened. If you did enjoy, please drop a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already to keep up to date with the content. But until then, I will see you all in the next one. Take care guys, bye bye.